What's up guys, it's your boy Dredge Fury, and today I'm going over a little food review for the heavy. Now, I'm not going to really go over any of those reskins, I'm just going to be going over the main 4 foods and over a few categories for them. And those are going to be survivability, usefulness, and where to use them. Anyway, let's get into that. Okay, so the first item I'm going over is the banana, because it's the newest item in the game, so what do we all think of it? Well, overall it's kind of like an in-between Delocus bar and sandwich. The healing effect may be less than sandwich, but it's also greater than Delocus. It's kind of like a medium health kit. When you're using it, if you're a little below half health, it should be able to get you up to full. When you're sharing it with a friend, it's the same as a small health kit, which in some cases may not be very useful. So if you're trying to go a support type heavy, you might want to favor the sandwich more than the banana, but the banana has an extremely fast recharge rate in which you can use it continuously. So if you're like going off on your own, there's no medic on your team and no one wants to go medic, survivability wise the banana is probably the best item. Now I gotta say, usefulness wise, the banana is definitely a really nice tool to have, because you can always just go run into combat, take some damage, run out real quick. It's a great item to use with the Gru, because you can run in, do some damage with your minigun, unrev, run out with the Gru, use the sandwich, run back in, do some more damage, and it's good for quick attacks. Sandwich is definitely way better than this at long-paced attacks where you're going to take your time, like pushing a major point. I would recommend that over the banana. Now, the best places to use the banana, I would say, are mostly, say, CTF, attack and defend, payload, because you're always moving, unless you're about to do a big push. Payload is a little sketchy. You might want to go more sandwich than this. You could also use it on some of the misc maps, because those are smaller. You don't really need a large health kit as much, because there's more around the map that you can hit up very quickly. Smaller maps, I would definitely recommend using this, because there's more health kits, so you won't be needing as much as a heal, and you might be needing those heals more quickly. Control points, this is not as good, I would say, because in large pushes, sometimes you can be fighting over one control point for even 10 minutes at a time, so you're going to want to use this less in those situations, because although it has the high recharge rate, it's not going to do as much for you as, say, a sandwich would, and by that time, if you're holding a point for long, you'll know where the health kits are, and it'll just be better for you to go ahead and grab a health kit over the banana. Next, I'm moving on to the Delocus bar. Now, the Delocus bar, survivability wise, is definitely a very mixed kind of item, because in one case it gives you less health than the banana or the sandwich, but it also can give you plus 50 max health for 30 seconds, which is sometimes all it takes to make a push through a control point. So say the enemy has a sentry put up and your medic just died, or the medic's not there healing you and instead is healing a soldier who you don't think can take care of that sentry like you can. So you use the Delocus bar, you can run up to that sentry and have a little more time to deal damage to it, and you could even destroy it. Now, I'm not saying that you definitely need this to destroy a sentry. You could easily do that, but if you're in a tough situation where you're going to need that health bonus because you don't think you could totally take out the sentry, you don't feel confident in yourself, definitely use the Delocus bar. And also, it has the same amount of heal to a teammate as the banana, so if you're going for a support class heavy that likes to heal his teammates just as much, well, the banana and the Delocus bar are pretty hard to compare, so it all depends on the situation. The overall usefulness of the Delocus bar, I'd have to say, is pretty wide. You can really, really use this. Say, it's definitely, you can't really compare it to either the banana or the sandwich, which are very comparable, because they do almost the exact same things in different quantities and in different time scales. But the Delocus bar instead will heal you past your maximum health, and you will get a health bonus, which no other item that Heavy has can do that, aside from the fish cake, which is a reskin. The Delocus bar can be used in nice control point pushes on either attack and defend, payload, control points. Misc maps I wouldn't use this as much because there's going to be health packs all over the map, so you don't really need this, because if you play a misc maps every once in a while, you can probably memorize all of the locations. I would say for CTF, this is definitely useful, because if you're about to go push into the flag room, then this would be a great idea, because you don't know if the sentry in there is in a location that is going to be hard to reach at first. So it definitely reassures you. Payload, I wouldn't say this is as useful, because the amount of time it takes on a payload map to push, you're going to have most of your team there. So I really don't think that this would help you too much in that situation. Overall, on a King of the Hill map, I would not use this at all. King of the Hill, you really should just stick to a sandwich or a banana. And yeah, let's move on. Next, guys, we have the Snatty Bitch. Now, this is probably the most well-known item in the game, if not the most known item in the game. The sandwich before the banana was possibly the most useful item in Heavy's entire arsenal. Out of all his miniguns, out of all his melees, and all his secondaries, because Heavies normally don't use shotguns that much. Now, the sandwich is basically a double banana, in a way. It recharges a lot slower than the banana, but it gives you a max health. So say you just did a heavy push and you're on really low health. The banana's not going to be able to get you back up to full, but a sandwich will. It can also be used as a medium health kit in case you're playing support. On large pushes, this is definitely one of the most useful items. Survivability is possibly greatest with this item, especially if you really combine this with knowing all of the med packs on the map. You can easily make this into a godlike weapon. But you also got to know exactly where to use it, because using a sandwich or any of the items, you have a time to eat them, so an enemy could easily come up on you and attack you during that time. And if you don't even notice a mini sentry, you're probably going to die. So you got to be really aware of your surroundings when using these. Overall usefulness, the sandwich before the banana was really one of the most used items for Heavy. Honestly, every person in all of TF2 probably knows of the sandwich. Even the free-to-plays that just got the game have either seen a sandwich in their first match, or it is their first item they get. A lot of people first get the sandwich, and it's really just like, it's a good item to start out with. I gotta say, it's very useful. It has a wide variety of uses, including being a hoovy, which a lot of people seem to like. There's such a thing as a pocket hoovy, which I've discovered. don't really think it's too good and casual, but if you're just screwing around, pocket hoovies are pretty fun to just like play around with. Because as a pocket hoovie, you're going to be giving medium health kits every once in a while to your teammates, and it's just kind of like funny to watch a hoovie try and play medic. The best places to use this item, I'd have to say attack and defend is not an okay map to use this on, because you're doing those quick pushes. You're not going to be doing an in and out kind of thing. You're going to be going all in trying to survive. I'd say the banana outmatches it there. Koth maps, King of the Hill maps, I would not recommend this on, because you're trying to hold a point. You're going to want those quick heals instead of this. This is all based on opinion, though. You can definitely use this in any of these situations, although I don't think it would be as useful as the banana. The CTF maps, capture the flag, I have to say this is a pretty okay item. Say you just tried doing a push, you want to try again really soon, you failed the last push, you're on low health, go ahead, eat a sandwich, you can push right in there. Really, any of the food items are fine for CTF, because, I mean, we don't really play CTF as much as we would really think. I gotta say, for payload maps, this can be a viable item. I'd say it might be a little more useful than a banana, because if you're doing a very heavy push, you just went around the corner, you need quick heals, you can jump under a little like bridge or something, on like upward or something, eat a sandwich, you're back up to full, you're ready to continue pushing the cart. Banana can also be used for this, but you're going to need to take a lot more damage to push the cart far. So in this case, I'd say the sandwich is better than the banana. Misc maps, I have to say this is kind of like the hoovie item, like I said. So if you're a hoovie, and misc maps have a lot of hoovies, I've come to realize, along with CTF and all the maps. But CTF and misc mostly have hoovies, so if you're just playing hoovie on, or you see a hoovie on a misc map, you can go ahead and use it there. Since there's so many medipacks there, though, it's not a very viable weapon, so I wouldn't really use that on misc. Also, control points, this is a very okay item to use this on, because if you're doing a quick push, I mean, you need heals in case you just fought off a sentry or something, you just go in and take the sandwich. Although I wouldn't say it's as good as the Dilocus bar or banana in that little area. Of course, this is all opinionated. Where do I even start with this godforsaken evil item? So this item makes absolutely no sense! See, if you give it to someone, it gives them a medium health pack, but if you eat it, no, it gives you crits. That only lasts 16 seconds, and if you use this at the wrong time, everyone just stays away from you and you can't do anything. And also, you can only use melee weapons when you use these crits, or mini crits. What kind of item is this? It's not a viable source of weaponry. Like, if you allowed people to use this, say, with any other weapon besides melee, hell yeah, it would be viable. Of course, you can definitely use this pretty effectively in a misc map like Degroot Keep, because, I mean, you're just using melee weapons. But at the same time, it's so terrible in any other game mode. Survivability rating on this is near 0. The overall usefulness of this is, there's no good use for this in any casual game mode, or even community server for that matter, and any situation to use this on. If you're using this in a situation, then you should really try and get out of that situation, because it's not meant to be really used in any fight, because you don't bring your fist to a gunfight to pretty common saying. So it's really just the worst item for heavy overall out of both melee, secondary, and primary weapons. This is just the worst, most useless piece of crap item. Never use it! God! It makes me sick just trying to, like, even equip it, thinking that my heavy's gotta hold a raw piece of steak that just jacks shit. Anyway, guys, I guess that was my review for food. You suffered through it. My heavy suffered through holding this piece of crap thing, melting chocolate in his hands, a sandwich that has an olive in it, and I hate olives, and a banana. I don't even know why a mercenary would be eating a banana in the middle of combat. It makes no sense! Of course, that's TF2, though, and nothing really makes too much sense in this game to begin with, so... what will we do? Anyway, so, just, if you liked the video and you want more like this, I guess leave a like. If you think I should not even try this again, dislike it. I like feedback. I want an actual, like, opinion on this. If you actually like my content and think I should continue doing this stuff, you can go ahead and subscribe. I don't think you should hit a notification bell because that's annoying as hell. It's kind of just broken, so it doesn't really matter if you do that or not. And I'm Dread Fury, and I'll see y'all later.